Gentlemen, most men don't fall in love with women because of their perceived weakness, but because they learn the rules of the game too late. Today, you will learn 7 harsh lessons about women, lessons most men only learn at the end of their lives. Welcome to the world of female psychology. Well, gentlemen, pay close attention because even if you're not in a long-term relationship, the truth is that life's most painful experiences teach you the harshest lessons. You discover after a divorce or breakup that it all makes no sense, or after years of trying that you're unappreciated, or after being told you're a good person but not the right one. Or what about the worst part of being in the friendship zone? You seem loving, you seem sincere, you say all the right things, and yet the relationship falls apart or never even begins. It's not that you're a bad person, but that you're acting on completely false assumptions. No one taught you how attraction works, no one warned you about the effort involved, and no one explained why words often make things worse. So men create, work harder, give more, communicate more deeply, and perhaps even become feminist advocates, and without realizing it, they gradually lose respect. Of course, not all women will agree with these patterns, but many do, especially in today's dating world. And this is proof that men are wasting years of their lives. Pay attention. Ignoring these patterns has consequences. Lesson 1. Attractiveness is not a reward for good manners. Effort doesn't create desire, and neither do standards. This is a devastating lesson for men. Most men grow up believing that attraction works like a scoreboard. Be consistent, loyal, patient, kind, and supportive. Eventually, attraction will inevitably come, right? No, it isn't. Attraction isn't a reward system. It doesn't matter how much you try, how long you wait, how much effort you put in, or how much you sacrifice. When a man leads based on his effort rather than his status, he reveals a flaw. He shows that his worth is built on acceptance. Once a man seeks acceptance, his attraction begins to fade. And this is where men find themselves in a quandary. They've done everything perfectly. They've been present. They've listened. They've remained loyal. They've tried to be understanding. Yet the woman has lost interest once again. It's not that doing the right thing is wrong, but rather that it expresses a willingness to exert unlimited effort. On the positive side, she sees potential in you. You admire her, but you don't pursue her. You show interest, but you don't invest in her quickly. You enjoy collaborating with her, but your life doesn't revolve around her reactions. You are calm, selective, and shed your ego quickly and quietly. You feel secure because you respect yourself. She is increasingly attracted to you because you don't try to be like her. Negative situations, excessive explanations, too many messages, and too much giving are all things she dislikes. You keep adapting to make her feel comfortable. You fear losing her, so you avoid stress. She avoids saying no or changing the situation, and she notices the problem. She might not say it, but she senses it. Gradually, attraction turns into familiarity. I can't say that word. Then it turns into boredom, boredom into frustration, and frustration into contempt or hatred. You become the kind of person she admires but doesn't want. For example, you make dates, you meet, then you meet again, and you try to be affectionate. She backs off, so you respond by putting in more effort. More confidence, more work, more patience. And she responds by putting in less effort, and eventually she tells her she's not attracted to him, and he sits wondering how he got to this point. Ultimately, sexual attraction is linked to self-esteem, not self-expression. When effort replaces standards, desire fades. Have you ever been told you're a good person before you left? Well, share your experience in the comments so other men can learn from it. Lesson 2, talking too much doesn't cure low attraction. He reveals that. This lesson reaches men far too late. Men learn that communication is the answer to everything. If you feel something is wrong, talk about it. If there's distance, explain your position. If there's tension, express your feelings. This advice ignores a fundamental truth. Communication doesn't create attraction. This only works if there's a prior attraction. When the attraction is strong, the conversation flows easily. When the attraction is weak, the conversation becomes tense. No matter how much you explain, the man won't come back to you. When the attraction is weak, the more he talks, the weaker his position becomes. In any case, she's already attracted to you. Your communication is calm, direct, and concise. Don't overanalyze every minor change in her mood. Express your opinion when it matters, and remain silent when it doesn't. There's space, calm, and mutual understanding. The negative situation is put behind you. When she feels stressed, she starts asking questions. Ask her what's changed, what she wants, and how you can fix things. When you explain your goals, feelings, and efforts, the more you explain, the more confident you become. You'll feel pressured instead of motivated and responsible instead of happy. For example, you'll become cold, less responsive to messages, and less active. You'll ask her if everything is okay. She simply says she's busy, but you don't believe her. So you persist. You explain how much you care, how serious you are, and how different you are from others. She listens, reassures you, then withdraws further, not because you told her the truth, but because she feels like a mother, not a lover. And most importantly, you can't convince a woman that she wants you. When attraction fades, communication becomes merely an attempt to repair the damage. Lesson 3, women constantly test men, and most men fail without realizing it. This is where men misunderstand what's really going on, or give up and withdraw. Most men assume that discussions are about the topic at hand, which isn't true. Most men assume that tension means there's a problem, which isn't true either. Many situations that appear to be conflicts are actually tests. The frustrating thing is that women don't even realize they're being tested. It's simply an instinctive reaction. These aren't tests you choose. They're tests of emotional strength, composure, and self-control. It's not what you say that matters, but how you respond. So do you get angry when a disagreement arises, or do you stay focused? Explain. No, don't explain. Don't explain. Never explain. Most men don't fail these tests silently. They think they failed because they were honest or kind, because women are confusing and hurtful. In reality, they failed because they lost their masculine identity. On a positive note, offer her some encouragement. This could be a comment, a compliment, or a small change. Don't rush to correct her. Don't be defensive, and don't over-explain. Stay calm and respond simply, perhaps by raising an eyebrow slightly. Don't fall into the trap of provocation. She'll notice your resolve, relax, and her respect for you will increase. In negative situations, she will test you, feel tense and panicky, try to calm things down, and attempt to explain your intentions. You might apologize quickly, overreact, or even run away and hit her. Instead of controlling your own emotions, you will begin to control hers. You will immediately recognize this imbalance. You may not say anything at the time, but the changes that occur are positive. The test fails. For example, you say something hurtful, something unnecessary. You feel disrespected. Instead of calming down, you start explaining why you disagree. You try to prove you're a good person. Meanwhile, you watch her grumble. Later, she says she doesn't feel anything. You think this came out of nowhere? No, it didn't. The mother's role overshadows the lover's. Ultimately, the challenge isn't winning the argument, but maintaining self-control. Lesson 4, love doesn't earn respect, it earns boundaries. This is a lesson men learn too late, and it ruins long-term relationships. Many men believe that love guarantees respect. If she loves you, she'll treat you well. If she cares for you, she won't overstep your boundaries. This belief is wrong. Unbounded love creates an arrogant person. The more a man tolerates disrespect, the more he teaches her the meaning of boundaries, and these boundaries become fluid. Over time, this fluidity transforms into expectation. She stopped controlling herself, stopped respecting his personal space, and stopped appreciating his presence. Not because she was angry, but because boundaries were never established. She needs to learn how to behave in a way that is acceptable to you. Address disrespect early, calmly, and directly, in a positive way. Don't threaten, don't lecture, and don't explode in anger. Clearly state what you accept and what you don't. If she's considerate of your feelings, she'll correct you because she respects your self-esteem. If she's negative, you ignore it. Simple comments, fleeting remarks, rejection. You convince yourself that you're worthless. Weeks turn into months, and suddenly you feel disrespected. You ignore her, and you feel powerless. There's mutual resentment, but you stay because you believe all women are like that. But the sad truth is that you trained her from the beginning to overlook bad behavior. For example, she might interrupt you, speak ill of you in front of others, or ignore your concerns. She might remain silent to avoid conflict or embarrassment. Later, you might wonder why the relationship ended and the tension persisted. Ultimately, love doesn't demand respect, but it does set boundaries. Instead of embarrassing her, you can make your voice heard and put her in her place. Have you ever overlooked her disrespect simply to maintain the relationship? Share your stories. Okay, the following is very general. Lesson 5. Commitment doesn't mean isolation. It comforts men and kills them. It blinds men who have done everything perfectly. The relationship becomes public, she commits, feels that things are fine, and the man gradually changes. He stops taking the lead and lets her make all the decisions. He stops prioritizing his own life and stops saying no. But attraction responds to contradiction, and contradiction seeks direction. When a man withdraws from the relationship, the attraction gradually fades. The positive aspect is that you continue with your life uninterrupted. You live your life, manage your time, and pursue your goals. The relationship fits within your life. It doesn't diminish it. He acknowledges your presence and respects your path. Attraction persists as long as the qualities that initially drew her to you remain alive within you. The downside is that you become involved and then disappear into the relationship. Your schedule becomes her schedule. Your plans become optional. Your boundaries are relaxed or eliminated entirely, and you become available to meet her needs. She no longer feels chosen, but rather accepted. Overindulgence kills interest. For example, you cancel plans with your friends to please her. You stop going to the gym, and you stop doing things that used to make you attractive. You start to feel stressed, but you don't know why. You start to take her for granted. You say, when she's happy, but what you're truly missing is your essence and the person you love. Ultimately, commitment doesn't guarantee attraction, but it does support leadership. Remember that what women say they want is sometimes different from what they truly need. Lesson 6. Feeling powerless makes you lose your vulnerability. Control comes first. Men are advised to open up, show their vulnerability, and share everything. This advice goes beyond simply showing vulnerability. It's only effective when backed by emotional stability and strength. Sharing feelings isn't the problem, it's managing insecurity. Women don't feel safe with emotionally controlling men, but with men who make them feel safe without being domineering. The positive aspect is that you're choosing to share your feelings and living according to your principles. You speak clearly and unambiguously. You express your feelings without judgment. You feel genuinely connected without feeling burdened. However, a downside is that you share too much with her from the start. You might constantly unload your emotions, seeking relief, which can become an emotional strain. You feel pressured instead of close, and the attraction between you fades. For example, you talk about your fears, doubts, and past wounds. Everything, without showing any ability to cope with them. At first, she listens. Over time, she begins to stand by you, not because she's honest, but because you've stopped reacting emotionally and dealing with your problems. Eventually, emotional depth develops, eliminating emotional instability. Have you ever felt like things are getting worse instead of better? If, like most men, you're confused about male vulnerability, I recommend watching the following video. Before I share a crucial lesson every man should learn and a key point for men in long-term relationships today, if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for everything you've done so far. I appreciate it. Now, let's move on to lesson 7. Letting go is your only true power. Not to fix, not to persuade, not to win. This is a lesson most men resist fiercely. Men believe that strength comes from solving problems, setting goals, or committing. But this instinct actually diminishes attractiveness. A man who can't back down is weak. A man who stands idly by, trying to fix everything, shows that his personal boundaries are unclear. Avoidance is not betrayal. It's about showing self-respect, and self-respect is crucial for attracting her. Being willing to step back removes ambiguity and confusion, revealing the truth. The positive aspect is that once you address the issue calmly and clearly, if the behavior persists, you should let it go. No anger, no threats, no words. You can either agree or refuse. Both are possible outcomes. In the negative case, you must stay and negotiate, explain again, and be patient. You continue to cling to the hope that her behavior will change, but this rarely happens. For example, if she repeatedly shows you disrespect, continues talking, oversteps her boundaries, and you forgive her. Eventually you leave, realizing that standing idly by won't do you any good. In fact, it did contribute to the end result. Above all, letting go preserves respect, while clinging to it without standards destroys it. Have you waited a long time hoping things would improve? What did it really cost you? This is a crucial point for men who allow bad behavior to continue for too long. The longer you tolerate disrespect, the more resentment will grow when she finally decides to set things right. Expect more evidence, more actions, and more reactions. She's used to her previous environment, and it takes time to rebuild the dynamics. Sometimes things work out, sometimes they fall apart, but it's always better to respect yourself than to wait for peace, even if you don't find it there or don't want it. Do all women struggle to start a relationship? Honestly, yes. But some women know how to respect men who respect themselves, and they know how to respect men who respect themselves. Just because she wants a relationship doesn't mean she knows how to behave. Just because she says she's interested doesn't mean her actions reflect that. And just because you love her doesn't mean you have to put up with everything. Your role isn't to fix broken virgins, but to choose your life partner wisely. Ignoring these lessons will cost you more than they're worth. Learning early will ensure a secure future. You're not here to attract women or negotiate respect. You're not here to build a life a healthy woman would want to be a part of. So if this video has opened your eyes, share these lessons with any man who needs to hear them. Which of these lessons resonated with you the most? Why? Your story might inspire other men. Watch the video below as it reveals shocking truths and vulnerabilities in both women and men. Thank you so much for attending. Best regards. God bless you.